Hello, everybody. Andy here from Glass Half Dead, the only kill team channel on YouTube. Unless, of course, you're aware of literally any other kill team channel on YouTube, in which case, let's just move on. We don't need to dwell on what I just said. Hey, the Battleforce boxes for Warhammer 40k have just been announced, and Age of Sigmar have just been announced to go on pre-order this weekend. First things first, good luck getting your hands on one. Second thing second, it will probably still be easier to get your hands on it than Dead Silence was. So, a bit of a mixed bag there. Let's not dwell. And I'm a proxy king. Okay, I love proxies, and I want to help you guys figure out how you can proxy your models in Kill Team. And perhaps you're going out there, you're hyped, you're big excite for your Battle Force. You've seen the pictures, you're inspired, you want to pick it up, but like me, you know that Kill Team is the better game. And so, although you want the cool models, you also want to actually play the better game. So, allow me to enlighten you and help you figure out how you can make proxies of all of these. So, before we get into that, of course, I would like to give a big subscriber only benefit, and that is a gigantic, a huge, a massive double hello. Wow, so wholesome. Truly the wholesome snows about the world of Glass Half Dead and the Proxy King himself. Hey, if you want to click on my affiliate links for Element Games, Whaling Games, Red October Games in the UK, these are the reasons why I use each of them. And yes, I genuinely do buy from all three of these local game stores. Or Wargame Portal in the US. That'd be absolutely awesome of you. Thank you so much. And if you don't like me, but you're here because of the topic, I guarantee that your local, your favorite YouTuber also has affiliate links. Click their affiliate link. Click somebody's affiliate links. Even me, when ordering from these people, click somebody's affiliate links, not my own. I wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't. So always click an affiliate link. It's just extra money. A great way to support your friendly local content creator. Also, hey, if you're into Kill Team, I do have interesting systems and ways to transport them Crossfire games. Recently did a video on them and all of their product line. And GG Easy, who I will be doing a video on all of their product line soon. Okay, let's get it. Oh, we should talk about proxy rules, because obviously I'm going to be saying, hey, you can make this a proxy, but how, like, why am I saying that so that I don't have to say that 8 different times or 10 different times across all of these boxes? For the full breakdown, simply type in Glass Half Dead proxy, click on this latest one, proxy rules for your models. That will tell you the full guide. It's 50 minutes. I spared no expense. Long story long. Basically, the absolute number one key is base size. You have to be on the correct base size. Go to your Kill Team app. In the bottom right-hand corner of every data card, it will tell you the base size of your model. As long as that is correct, you're kind of good. And you can pass off most other things. The additional key is identifiability, readability, whatever you want to call it, being a differentiation ability. You want to make sure that your opponent, when they look at your models, you're not sat there saying, well, technically he has a plasma pistol and a power weapon, so therefore it is this, but then you've hidden the the plasma pistol and the power weapon behind their back, and you can't actually see it, right? You want to make sure that when the enemy looks at your models, they know exactly what they are. Um, to the point that I would say that it's let's say you're trying to do a melter gunner. I would almost say it is more important not to give them a melter gun, which is what they should have if you cannot see that melter gun, but give them something else. I don't know, a disintegrator gun from Horus Heresy, let's say. That's not a melter gun, but it's a little bit larger, a little bit longer, a little bit more identifiable. And if you then paint their shoulder pads on this Marine a different color to everybody else, that is going to be so much easier for your opponent to see. And that's what WYSIWYG is all about. And proxy ability. It's about making sure your opponent can identify different models. There you go. Okay, right. With that said, go and check those videos out. I explain it for significantly longer. Right. Well, we start off with the Krieg Siege Platoon. This is an easy one because these are the exact models you need. Okay, so basically in this box, you get regular dudes, you get engineers, you get a command squad, and you get a commissar. Those are 4 perfect kits for what you need to do if you are trying to do Krieg. Obviously, it does need to be mentioned that the Krieg squad is rotated out at the moment for tournament play, but they are still legal to play. And this will mean that you literally just build these guys and then you can use them with one minor proviso. The command squad and the engineers and the commissar are all on 20. Well, sorry, not the commissar. The commissar is on a 32. The others are on 28 mil bases. But of course, for kill team, you want them on 25s. What you would do in this situation is build them on 25s, and yes, they will fit, don't worry. And then when you want to play them in 40k, just blue tack them to a 28 mil base. There you go, problem solved. I have all of these models when the Krieg stuff released. I bought all of them because I thought they were super cool. And if I didn't already have the Krieg squad, but I wanted to play them, I would just use these because, of course, you cannot buy the specialist upgrade sprue for the Krieg anymore. But there are enough additional bits and kind of funky looking dudes from the command squad and the engineers that you can basically just go ahead and make the Krieg squad. We then go to the Hellforged Warband, the Chaos. So, of course, here we're thinking Legionary, right? We're thinking Legionary. We don't need to get creative yet. So you get your standard 10-man squad. You get your and your what are they called? Heretics? That's the wrong one. Havocs, that's the one. Now, we don't exactly know what comes in this box, but on the assumption that the Legionary squad has been repackaged to still contain the expansion sprue to form a legal Legionary squad in Kill Team, this should not require any proxies at all. They should just have this is just a legal kill team. So if you picked up the Hellforged Warband, the Legionary squad is just Legionaries in kill team. Perfect. No proxy required. Now, the Blissbound Warband. Okay, so let's just say we're probably not going to be proxying what's he called? What are they called? Sorry. Fulgrim, sorry. Fulgrim is right here behind me. It's a great model. Great Demon Primarch. I just couldn't remember the name. So great boss battle, great solo co-op play. Awesome. Let's put them to the side. We then have a bunch of 40 mil bases. Now, we have an advantage here because I bought these models because I thought they looked cool and I wanted to have kind of like one of every chaos thing because I don't know, I was feeling funky that day. And so when thinking about this for my own reasons, what could I do with Noise Marines and Flawless Blades? I decided that the best thing they can proxy for would be Raveners. Now, the reason for that is because Raveners are a 40 mil base team. That's the primary reason. I'm not saying that these are the best to, if you're willing to put in some work, to identify them better, this is good. But very briefly, so one of your Sound Blaster dudes, what are they called? Noise Marines. Well, that's one of these 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these 5 here can be your Venom Spitter. This here is clearly your leader. Cool. You then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models to figure out which of them are you going to identify as the other 3 models. And here's a great place to talk about kind of proxy. Simply saying this guy has, like this guy here, this guy has 1 sword and this guy has 2 swords. Therefore, this guy is that, and this guy is the Crusher, and this guy is the Venom Spitter. Obviously, it's like that may be obvious to you, but in my opinion, it doesn't quite work enough. You could say this guy is the only guy with a big sword, so he is the Crusher. Cool, good, that's fine. But then you do need a little something else on the other double sworders to identify them as one being the Venom Spitter and one being your Tremor Scythe. Again, color is a brilliant way to identify this, even more so because just saying the guy that's all red is the Venom Scythe. The guy that's all yellow is the Venom Spitter. Yeah, like that would be better than oh, well, this guy has his swords pointed down, so that's the venom scythe. It's like, okay, right? So you really do want to help with identification here. Um, yeah, I realize that's a bit of a push. Your alternative here is to drop them down to 32 mil bases, and then actually, I reckon you could make a decent team of. I'm going to say, what are they called? Angels of Death. Yeah. So one of these guys here, that's obviously your heavy bolter. This is still your leader. Those track, and then just drop these guys to 32s. I will say they are quite tall, the Space Marines, and they're all just assault intercessors. Great job done. That's a legal team. Nobody will question it. That's the beauty of the AOD. They're quite basic. Chthonian Prospect. So this is a tough one because I don't want to say there's no proxy ability here. Obviously, you can proxy anything as anything, but there's no natural proxy, in my opinion, here. So they're all 32s, some are 40s, sorry. And really, they cannot make a good squad of the existing Hearthkin or Harnkin. So you're not looking at being dwarves. You're looking at proxying them for something more generic. What is the most generic team in the game? Again, you're probably going to be looking at Angels of Death, right? Because you kind of only have to identify 2 specialists and then everybody else is just a dude. So these guys here with the axes, those are going to be your assault intercessors. This guy here, he's your leader. Put him on a 40, which if you want to keep him legal for 40k, you keep him on a 32 and just blue tack him to a 40. You might want to blue tack him to several 40s so that he's tall enough, because these are dwarves. These are shorter models than Space Marines. And then one of these guys is your heavy bolter. So it's not the craziest thing. And if you are a dwarf lover, then that's actually totally valid. And I don't think many people would take issue with that. That's, again, the good thing about Angels of Death. Very generic, but it does mean that they are very, very easy to proxy, especially when you're doing everybody's just an assault interceptor, in essence, apart from 2 dudes. No, there you go. That's valid. Nice. We then get the Iron Halo Iron Halo Strike Force. Now, this is again shockingly incredibly easy to proxy AOD as. So this guy here, Plasma Pistol Power Fist, on a 40 mil base. He's literally your captain. Great. Heavy Bolter, 40 mil base. He's literally your Heavy Bolter. Okay, awesome. And then just pick any of these dudes to be gunners. All right, sweet. You see here, you've got your Vanguard. Are they called Vanguard? Stern Guard, sorry. Your Stern Guard veterans. You've got several different special weapon options. So you could say one of them is going to be your Grenadier, your auxiliary grenade guy. You are having a bit of a lack of assault intercessors, which is going to be a bit of a struggle for AOD. However, if we look down here, these two, they will fit on 32 mil bases. I have put a lot of big 40 mil based Marines on 32 mil bases, and I have not had an issue. I've managed to fit High Marshal Helbrecht on a 32 mil base. Okay? You can make it work, I promise you. So with that in mind, you've got your captain, your heavy bolter, 2 assault intercessors, and 2 regular intercessors. Like, that's a very balanced team of AOD. Can't complain. Nice, nice, nice. You could perhaps also look at expanding into Legionary, just because of this group here, the command squad, giving you so many different options and like very clearly defined different people, means that you can say, hey, because they look so different, you can actually at this point say, this guy is actually this. And people will see that and be like, oh, okay, everybody knows Space Marines, luckily. Therefore, you can be a little bit more flexible with your proxies on them, because they're also so well defined and in far completely different poses. So it's quite good. We then get the Farsight Cadre, and this is a... Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to go to my classic fallback of Raveners, but good luck. Good luck passing that one off. I guess you say that the tunnel is them flying into the sky. These guys, the Broadside and Farsight, are on 60s. Dropping them to a 40 is going to be tough. you will have to the broadside will manage it, right? He's obviously your long range guy. That's easy. There's a lot of customizability with the suits, so they will be able to be on. You can easily differentiate their weapons. That's easy enough. Farsight fitting on a 40 is going to require a little bit of change. The good news there is you will have to change his pose. You could drop the rock and just take him off of that, I suppose, and put it because he's highly posable. Basically, you always see him in this pose, obviously on GW art, but all of his joints are just ball joints, so he can be in any pose you want. Would I suggest this? No, but it's the only all 40 mil base team. It's the largest base team out there. I guess you could also throw in just brainwave. You could consider Canoptech Circle because they have 350 mil base guys, right? Are they 50s? Yeah, they are. They're huge. So Farsight's your Geomancer, right? One of these is, and two of these are your tomb crawlers, and then you've got a bunch of drones, and you've got a whole load of extras. So you can easily kind of, the one that has two fins up is going to be your comms. And you got loads and loads of extras with missile weapons, shield generators, and all of the crisis suit weapons that you can quite easily make these look different. That's not the worst idea. Doing the Nexus is quite simple here. It's just the Texas instead of the Nexus because Tau use tech. Feel free to take that one. The Crusher Stampede is actually the only one that I'm going to say you can't do anything with. There you go. Sorry, can't be done. We then get, yes, that's right. I'm continuing because I think that more of the, now, this is obviously going to be a little bit more out there, but you know what? 40k is sci-fi is fantasy in space. So why the hell do we have to do in space? There are plenty of teams that don't even have a gun. Or you can use Age of Sigmar models. If you think fantasy is cooler than sci-fi, fake sci-fi, you can do this. Totally works. Obviously, this is going to be Raveners again, purely because these are all on 50 mil bases. So you have to drop them down to a 40, and they won't fit on 32s. And they're also very tall models. These are huge models, to be clear. So there you go. This can actually be lots of things. There's lots of different weapons, lots of different poses. This is great. This can be almost whatever you want. The logical answer is a lot of people like to do AdMech as Skaven proxies, and also I think, and that's fine because it lets you do a little bit of rat mech. I think this could also be mandrakes, and I think it could also be quite easily what are they called? Brood Brothers. There you go, Brood Brothers. Although looking at it now, they don't have the ogre, so I guess you wouldn't. Oh, you could still do Brood Brothers. You just wouldn't be proxying an ogre as a patriarch. You'd be using this guy here as either your Magus or your Primus. So yeah, but otherwise this would all work. You are lacking a little bit in guns. These guys have guns if you're willing to accept that a grenade is a gun. You've got a banner. You might have to get a little bit creative in stealing the guns from other things, perhaps, to give these guys guns instead of spears. But you know what? If you just swap the halberd blade with a spear, with a gun, a barrel, that's not the craziest thing. That's doable. We get Lancers of the Crimson Keep. This is a tough one again. I would just say no, you can't do it. But if you're absolutely dedicated to it, swap these oval bases for 40s, use them as Raveners. Good luck differentiating them. Then our last one is the Outcast Spite Grove. This is tough because Dryads suck. I hate to say it. They're terrible models. Nobody should be buying this. However, you still get loads and loads of bodies. If you're willing to chop some of these things up, you could. These are just 32 mil base guys, which I don't think is a bad thing to do. I personally really enjoy Wood Elves. Shame that we don't have Wood Elves in New Age of Sigmar, because otherwise I'd probably play them. These are like tree spirits, but they're 32 mil base, Space Marine sized models. So you can do any Space Marine team you want with them. but you're going to need extra bits. Hence why I say if you're willing to chop up some of the dryads and do some funky nature looking guns kind of thing, then I've often seen nature done to Proxy as like a different take on Plague Marines. So this could be your Plague Marines from the starter box redone as a sort of nature type thing instead. You are going to have to get funky with it. They do have swords. So one of these will be an easy, just give them swords. One of them is going to be just natural. And then you'll have to do 4 more guys with some really chopped up dryad weapon bits. It would definitely be a challenge to make it actually good for proxies, good practice proxies, shall we say. However, this is doable, whereas this genuinely isn't. You cannot do anything with this team. This is a challenge, but you have the right base size, you have the right size models, can do something. There you go. And if you made it to the end of the video, let me know which of these battle forces you are actually interested in. You know what, for me personally, I've been struggling to not buy this. I can't lie. I don't play much Age of Sigmar, but I do think it's a good system. I actually already have painted armies, but this feels like it would be nice and simple to play. A good, easy beginner army. Not that many models on the board. You know, tournament legal. And like just have. I think if you buy this, you only have to buy like one more squad of Troggoths, and you have a legal army, like 2K point army. And I'm like, you know what? It will probably be terrible, but nice. And it's technically the Gloom Spike kits. So I suspect I could just go and buy a Mangler Squig, which is a model I want anyway, and boom, I've got myself a cool looking reason to have a Mangler Squig. But from 40K, actually, none of them. This does appeal to me, but I have all of this, so I don't need it. Looks very bland to me, and I have it all. And ditto for that. There you go. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, so wholesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know which battle force you're interested in, or if you're a true kill teamer and you are more than happy to allow this to pass you by. What do you have any easy and obvious proxy suggestions that I completely missed? You know, I tried to keep these pretty grounded and based, you know, hashtag based, so that people weren't getting weirded out when I was suggesting, oh, the Krieg could be proxied as Blooded or could be proxied as Brood Brothers. I think it's quite natural that if you're buying the Krieg platoon, you probably want to play Krieg and Kill Team, right? But I could have thought of, you know, any 25 like these Navy Breaches, Exaction Squad, etc., etc. And hey, don't forget to check out my affiliate links. That'd be super cool of you to do. And if you want some Kill Team stuff, buy one of these. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye.